Dylan, Daylyn, and I'm David Tepera of the Dekeday Foundation. We appreciate you joining us today for our feature of the week, League City Animal Shelter. We chose the animal shelter because we were hoping to find loving families for the needy animals here. With me here today is the supervisor, Jacquelyn Crosser. Jacquelyn, how are you?
How are you guys?
All right, we really appreciate you letting us into your facility and having an opportunity to see what really takes place here. But before we get into that part of it, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what led you to be the supervisor here?
Well, I came in here as a kennel worker. My title was a kennel master, which sounded weird, but I cleaned all the dogs and all the cats and vaccinated and helped give them their medication and anything else they needed, like food, water, and cleaned up after them during the day, helped with the customers that walked through the door. I helped with phones, everything.
Now, were you doing this as a volunteer?
Nope. I got hired on as a kennel worker.
Okay.
And then after that, what I did was, during that time frame, I did go to the school, which is a 2-day course for animal control officers. And then when a position did come open, I applied for it and I got hired on. And then I've done that for about 6 years. And then recently I just became supervisor.
Nice. Okay, so you've been involved for about 8 years.
8 years.
Wow.
I started here in September of 2004.
Really? So you've probably seen quite a few changes?
Oh, yes.
And you were here during the hurricane?
I was here for Katrina, Rita, and then Ike.
Wow. Well, that's another topic. If we have time, I'd like to hear about what you had to prepare for that. Well, definitely you've been here, you have the credentials, and you know the city appreciates having someone to help with an animal shelter here. So let's take the time now to explain what really happens at this facility. You know, you got to think about it. From the moment that we start watching television as little kids, the animal control or the dog catcher is the bad guy.
Yes.
I mean, all Disney movies, Lady and the Tramp, I mean, we are programmed that you guys are the bad guys.
No, actually, we're the good guys.
Well, you know, we'll explain that for us.
Well, we take dogs and cats and anything else that come across our hands or our trucks that go out. We go and pick them up. If we have problems with, we've been called on, we had a bearded dragon walking down the street. We've had
a bearded dragon, big lizard.
Yeah, walking down the street. We've actually had a 7-foot iguana walking down the street. She was 16 years old. And we got her back to her owner at the time that she had lost her, and this was years upon years ago. And so we've had her. After Ike, actually, we have had a 7 to 8 foot, I'm not sure, I think it was a boa constrictor out, and had a big huge lump in it, so we don't know what it ate. So we've seen that. So we deal with snakes. We've dealt with raccoons, possums, horses, cows. We do it all. We're just not a dog catcher. No. We do it all.
So it's exotic animals, all animals.
Anything that comes across our path that people are unsure of, that need help, or anything like that, we're there to take care of.
Ms. Jax, what is the process when you pick up an animal?
Well, our process is when we pick up an animal, first we get our call that comes into our shelter, and people tell us that we're having a problem with a dog running down the street, or somebody's cat's getting on my yard, or any of the cases that may be. What we do is when we pick up an animal, we get it on we have leashes, we have leads, which is like a little harness kind of thing. We have catch poles, we have snake toms, we have all these different tools to help us do our job. When we get that animal, we actually have a scanner in our vehicle that we scan the animal if we can. If the dog or cat or any other animal will allow us to scan it, we're going to scan it and it's going to come up with a number. And if it does have a microchip in his back or anywhere on him, and I scan that animal and it comes up, I'm going to try to call the company first and get that dog or cat or whoever home first to that owner before I bring it here to the shelter. But if I don't have something like that, I bring the animal here, I do a double scan just in case, because we have different scanners here, and maybe mine didn't pick it up, and the one here did. I'll give it its first set of shots, which is for a dog, it's parvo distemper and bordetella. A cat, it's the feline vaccines that cover the feline AIDS and feline leukemia. And then we put them into a kennel.
So we'll keep it dogs and cats, that when they come here, you're going to vaccinate them.
Yes. That's when they
Interesting.
walk.
Even if you know if they've been vaccinated or not, it's just,
Well, if we had the dog 2 days prior to that, and we know it's a problem animal, and we've got it again, and we knew it, just gave it its vaccine 2 days
Okay,
ago,
right.
we're not gonna give it to them again.
right. I
But
just said-
if we do have some animal that comes in here and we don't know if it's been vaccinated before, we're gonna vaccinate it
Oh,
again.
interesting, okay.
And it does cut down on our health issues here.
Okay, so then now they're here, they've been vaccinated.
They've been
What's
vaccinated,
next?
and then they get put into a kennel. If it's a large breed, he goes into a kennel, he gets a large bowl of food, and when we go and do a little tour along here, I'm going to show you where they drink from, because you're not going to see any bowls with water in it in their kennels. It's because there's something called a liquidator that comes out of the wall that has their water always dispensed to them when they need it. And so you won't think that, why aren't they drinking? But they do drink, they have water, and then they have food, and then some of them even get bedding.
Oh,
I mean, there's bedding in every one of them, but, you know, there's always that small one that hardly has any hair or something. We're gonna give them a couple extra blankets. Definitely during the winter, they all get blankets.
This text, what if you pick up an animal that's hurt?
Well, it depends on how bad they're hurt. If it's just something like a little limp or something, we'll bring it in, we'll hold it for our 5 days for the owner to come clean them, because that's how long we hold the animal. If it's something that we see an open wound on, and it's something that we can treat here at the shelter, we're gonna treat it here. If it's something more serious, we're gonna bring it to a vet and get them to check it out. Like, we've seen it, we heard a dog rolled under a car, and we can't see any signs, but we know what happened to that dog in the meantime. We're gonna bring it to a vet, because it could have internal bleeding that we do not see, because we don't have x-ray vision.
Now, do you have a certain vet, or is there a variety of vets, or how does that work?
We do have a variety of vets. We have in the past dealt with Marina Bay Animal Hospital. We also deal with Animal House, Veterinarian Hospital, which is on 96 next to Kroger's. And they all have been wonderful for us. With helping with people donating money to them, to helping us with some of our surgeries that have happened through some of the dogs or cats.
So does the owner pick up that cost, or is that, how does that work?
Well, we don't do a surgery unless it's been held here for 5 days.
Okay,
Because they are legally not ours. After the 5 days, we hold the animal and they become ours. Before that 5 days, our hands are tied. We have to just do a welfare check on an animal that's been injured, because they are not ours. If it's serious that he does have major injuries that he cannot be saved, then we have to make the decision to put the animal down humanely, because he's in such pain. So we do have to make those decisions.
Okay, so, all right, 5 days have gone, now the animal is yours.
And
What's
he
the
is-
next process step?
If he is a highly adoptable animal, and we have had several here, we'll ask some friends that come into our shelter and donate their time and gather people together to donate some money. And at Animal House Vet Clinic and Vet Hospital, they actually have an account open there that you can donate money to for things like that happen.
Okay.
So we had a wonderful volunteer that did a fundraiser for us and raised over $1,400 on the last fundraiser. Before that, she raised over $2,800. So Aaliyah, who was a long-term dog, actually got the proper surgery that she needed to create a knee, because she didn't have one when she was born.
Oh, really? So that was Aaliyah. And
Yes.
what's interesting about it is today's a special
Yes.
day for Aaliyah.
Yes, we were going to show Aaliyah today to get her adopted, and earlier today we had a couple come in, looked at Aaliyah and fell in love with her and adopted her. and to a forever home, so.
Right, as we were coming in to set up today, and she was going to be the featured dog, and that family was here picking her up.
But we definitely have other special dogs here or cats, or, anything else that you guys, we can direct you in the right area to adopt the proper animal.
Well, Ms. Jax, how does someone adopt a pet?
Well, someone adopts a pet by coming into our shelter. We ask them to take a look around, see what's fit for them. We'll introduce them to that animal, take them outside. If it's the right dog for them or cat, we have in the cat room, you can take them out. If that's the one that you want, it's $75 to adopt. It will include the sterilization, which is the spay or the neuter, the rabies shot, the microchip registration, their first set of shots, and if you live here in League City, a League City tag. So you're getting 5 to 6 things for $75, which is a rarity.
Wow, that's
Yes.
a good deal,
Yes.
even with the microchip as well.
Microchip and the surgery for the sterilization.
Wow.
Wow.
So that's really good. And actually, since you guys are here today, and I just got the approval, the month of June, all of our adoptions are going to be $40. And it's still going to include all that stuff. So you're still going to get the spay or the neuter, the rabies shot, microchip registration, the first set of shots, and again, if you live here in League City, a League City tag.
Okay, well, good. And we're going to get your location information here in
Ms.
just a
Jax, how do you take supplies and get donations?
Well, how we get supplies is actually we do purchase our supplies like dog food, cat food, bleach. We use a little bit of everything. We use chemicals, Windex, you name it, we buy it here. Our donations come from all of our people out there, just like you guys, donating your time, donating money. We do have a list that we do accept. You can walk through the door like bed sheets, and the greatest things we love are those bath rugs. They're always the perfect size for a dog or a cat, so in our kennels. But anybody who wants to walk through that door and put something in our hands, we're going to be glad to take it. It's going to help the animals.
Now, are you in need of volunteers, or do you have a
We're
pretty consistent?
always in need of volunteers. Our volunteers, a shelter can't survive without volunteers. Our animals want to be able to survive without volunteers, because our volunteers are the ones who get those dogs out the door, get to see what the light of day is compared to sitting into a kennel all day and seeing those 4 walls, or a cat that gets to play with that toy that might never have a chance to play with a toy.
All right, well, Jax, well, everything sounds really exciting and opportunity. Well, there's some families that are watching us right now, and they probably are looking for a pet to adopt.
We have plenty.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us exactly where you're located and your phone number?
Okay, we're located at 821 North Kansas, in the old part of League City, and our number is 281-554-1377. Our hours of operation are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 10 to 6, and Fridays and Saturdays from 10 to 5. And we do stop our adoptions about a half hour prior, because it takes about a half hour to do an adoption process. But we have plenty of animals, so you guys gotta come down and see them.
Well, we truly appreciate you spending time with us today, and we're hoping the viewers and the families recognize that that the animal control is our friend, and
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys definitely have a passion and a caring for animals. And so hopefully you families that are looking to adopt, here's your opportunity, and the animals are in need. So thank you for your time. Be responsible, be safe.